In this video I will be making a full Retroshare with I2P setup guide. This will be like a follow-along guide showing how the Retroshare is installed. I will be following the official Retroshare, like the documentation, and I will be like commentating on it as I install Retroshare with I2P. So that's what I will be doing in this video. As you can see on the left and on the right, there are two virtual machines. Both of them are different virtual machines, and the reason for that is because I'm going to simulate the the idea of there being like these two people who are going to be using Retroshare to communicate with each other. So you can imagine that the virtual machine on the left is person A and the virtual machine on the right is person B, and they live far away from each other and they are communicating on the internet. And of course they don't have to live far away, but you can just imagine that. Anyway, so I'll be doing the setup twice, therefore. I'm not sure if I will show the second installation actually, because that's kind of redundant, because if I show how it's done on the first account, then it's the same for the right. So I'm gonna probably just show it for the left virtual machine here, and then I'm just gonna keep this one paused until then, until I'm done with the first one, and then when I'm done with the first one, I'll first do the installations and all that stuff on the first one, and then when I'm done I'll pause the video and go do the rest. Go do the same thing on the right virtual machine, and then I'm gonna continue the video from there, and then I'm gonna show the Retroshare stuff, actually using the Retroshare software. So right, of course first we're going to need I2P. Did I pause this? Yeah, I did pause it. So I'm going to be using the official I2P, of course. Gotta remember to copy this thing here, download the Java file, downloads, open the terminal in the downloads. Here you can see the download is going. Close that. Java jar, whatever. Then I'm gonna install Retroshare. Next. Okay, next. Yes, blah blah blah. Just hit yes and next and whatever. cd cd I2P, and then /I2P router start. That's the command you then run. That can be closed, and that can be closed as well. So now this router console appears. Now what this means is that 127.0.0.1 is your own local IP address. So this means that this is not a website on the internet. This is your own software. This is running on your own computer. This is on your own machine. No one else out there in the world gets to see this. This is your own instance. I'm gonna go with the dark theme, of course. Bandwidth test. I'm gonna skip bandwidth test for this video. I don't need to do that. You can do that. I would probably recommend you do that. I'll reduce this down to a smaller percentage for this video. You should probably keep this as a higher value, but I'm gonna do that. And let's see. I'm gonna have that like way higher. Why is that not updating? Wait, what? It doesn't update that. Whatever, that should be enough where I like for the demonstration purposes. You should probably adjust this based on like your internet or whatever it gives you by default with the network test that I skip because I don't need it for the demonstration purposes. This is just to demonstrate the I2P software, so you can do all the network speed tests and all that stuff with that. It should be like as high as like the network allows or whatever. Yeah, let's see. Testing. Yeah, the thing with I2P is that you should have, let's see, yeah, remember to enable UPnP in your router, and if you have a firewall enabled, then you should make some exceptions, some rule changes so that you can use the I2P properly. Here you can see this is firewalled. For this video, for the demonstration purposes, I'm not gonna bother with all the firewall stuff, but you should go ahead and allow things in your firewall so that the communications can pass through the firewall if you have a firewall. If it says firewalled here, then you should go ahead and allow the rules. But for this video, I'm not considering that necessary for this video. And remember to enable UPnP in your router as well. Right, so anyway, I've been rambling enough now. The I2P is set up and working now. I'm gonna go ahead and do the Retroshare stuff. I'm gonna download Retroshare as an app image. I would probably recommend using the Flatpak option here in general, unless you prefer. But actually no, I take that back. You can pick whichever one you want. There are lots of these different ways of installing the software, so you can see all these different distros and they have their guide. So you can install it basically however you want, like you can pick one. Retroshare as a Flatpak, it appears to be unverified for some reason. I don't know what that's about. It is on their website here, so that leads me to believe that it's an official version. They just haven't verified it for some reason. Or maybe they are just endorsing an unverified version of Retroshare for some reason. I don't know what that's about. Why are they endorsing a Flatpak here, but when I go here it's not verified? I don't know what that's about. But since they are endorsing it, I'm gonna assume it's perfectly good. So yeah, I say Flatpak might actually be one of the best ways to install Retroshare, so that's probably my main recommendation. So if I had to pick one, I would probably recommend that in general. That or app image. For this video I'm gonna demonstrate an app image because app images are pretty good and they work better with this video because I don't have to deal with all the Flatpak installation stuff. Yeah, I don't want to bother with that. There are different guides and tutorials on the internet on how to install Flatpaks, so I'm not gonna bother with that in this video. I already have enough work to do as is, so I'm not gonna bother with Flatpaks now. App images are actually pretty good, so yeah, I can't really pick one or the other as a recommendation. Actually, it's kind of a difficult choice if I had to pick one. Both are really good. So let's see. Anyway, I've downloaded that now. That's done. Let's go to the documentation. Retroshare I2P, and there's going to be the official documentation. I think it might have been this one, yes. Yeah, this is the one. I2P is running, excellent. Right, so I guess I'm gonna do the configuration for the I2P now. Actually, yeah, before running the Retroshare, actually I did the things kind of out of order. I was supposed to configure the I2P first and then download Retroshare, but I guess it doesn't matter if I have it. I guess it doesn't matter if I have it already pre-downloaded, but I'm gonna go back to I2P actually, after all. So yeah, don't launch Retroshare yet. So that's important. Don't launch Retroshare yet because we are gonna launch it in a very specific way. So yeah, sorry for doing things out of order. Don't launch Retroshare yet. Let's see. Yeah, like blah blah blah. So let's see. Download wizard. So I'm gonna be following the guide basically. Wait. Yeah, that link specifically. So this is the homepage. I'm gonna keep the homepage there. Right, so this is this one. And in the tunnel wizard is basically a way to automatically create the tunnels in a really convenient way. As you can see, it's there. So I'm basically just gonna be following the guide. So I'm gonna put this on the. What? I'm gonna put this side by side. Like, wait, what's going on now? Right, this is good. So, yeah, tunnel wizard. client tunnel. I'm basically just gonna be following the guide, really. Like, you can follow the guide, but the purpose of this video is to have like this sort of a follow along guide, so like you don't need to be left guessing as to what you're supposed to be doing. Like, I'm just gonna be following the guide, so like, and if there are any confusing things, sorry, the mouse wheel is broken, so it's going crazy. If there are any confusing sections, I might commentate on them and all that sort of thing. All the proxies can be skipped. Right, so anyway, right, so yeah, make sure to select 127.0.0.1 there, and then write 4, let's see, 47. So 4447. Click next. It can be automatically started, of course, unless you want to manually start it every time. This means that every time you start I2P, then you should need to manually start it if you don't click that. Right, so these are good. Save tunnel. And that's the first tunnel, then there's a second tunnel. So, where am I now? Yeah, right, so that's the other tunnel. So there needs to be 2 tunnels that are created. So, let's see. So again, tunnel manager, where am I? Tunnel wizard, not manager. This is the tunnel manager. Right, so tunnel wizard. I'm gonna create this time a server tunnel. And again, sorry for the mouse. The mouse is broken. It keeps jumping around like crazy. I'm trying to scroll and it doesn't work. It's really annoying. So let's see, standard. This I'm gonna call Retroshare 2. Retroshare 2. So then the same IP address again, 127.0.0.1. Port is this time 41222. Next, of course, automatically start and finish verified information. Save tunnel. Now both of the tunnels have been created. Then let's see. Have to be started. Let's see, Retroshare 1 and where's Retroshare 2? This is client tunnels, so server tunnels. Retroshare 2 is starting up. I just created it, so it's starting up. And Retroshare 1 is up and running. Excellent. So they will be automatically started. But if they are not, then go here and find your Retroshare 1 and click start here. Now it says stop because it's already running. And this one is starting up. So yeah, if it doesn't start automatically for some reason, it should. But if it doesn't, then click start here. Find Retroshare 1 and 2. Right, and then now I'm done with the I2P. So I'm going to close that. And then now we open Retroshare. Where did this jump? Then you go ahead and launch your Retroshare. Go here up here and make sure to select tor/I2P manually configured. I recommend selecting the advanced options as well. Then go here and write person A or whatever your username you want to be. Computer A. I'm just gonna call these things. I'm just gonna call this person A everywhere. Where is it now? Person A. I recommend using the highest number for all the keys always. There's really no reason not to. Then here you're gonna want to go ahead into your hidden service manager here, and then the Retroshare 2, copy paste this address, make sure you copy it entirely, so that starts with R and ends with I2P. So make sure you've copied it entirely. Port, where's the documentation? Port 41222. 41222. Do not enable this weird thing. Use I2P. I don't know what that is. That is really weird. Don't enable that. I don't know what that's about. Just use the manual configuration as is. Retroshare will launch, and now, as you can see there, if it shows that I2P dude in that picture, then all is good so far. What you want to do now is go into preferences, then network. I'm gonna enlarge this window so I can see better, and you should do that because here's this thing. It says hidden node. If it says green, then it's working. If it doesn't show green, then it's not working. I don't know why this is stuck in that wrong number. That's really weird. That's really odd. That should not. I don't know what that's a wrong number there. Anyway, that's 4447 as it should be. So that's good. That's working. Oh wait, no. 5724. That is really strange because this thing is saying the 41222. I don't know what that's about. That's really weird. I don't know why that is. Why can I not change that? That is weird. I don't know what that's about. Local address is locked to localhost. Right, but I have it locked to the wrong number. That's really weird. I don't know what that's about, but it seems to work. It says green. So I'm gonna go here and check if I find that number somewhere. Router console. Could it be that it tries to connect to some HTTP? Is there some port like that somewhere in use? Let's see, what was it? 57248. 57248. What is that? 57248. 57248. 57248. 57248. There is no port using 57248. That is really weird. I don't know what that's about. I'm confused as to what exactly that is supposed to mean. It does indeed say that the IP address is locked. You can ignore the Tor option here. I2P SOX proxy is this, and it's all good. So it would seem that it's working. Like that's all there is to it. I guess you don't have to do anything then. Just make sure that 4447 is selected here and 107.0.0.1 is here, and I guess. Oh, now I get it. Wait, did the documentation miss that part? No, I wasn't done yet. Oh, well, no wonder. Yeah, right. So go into network. So preferences, network, hidden service configuration, incoming, and in here you select the, what was it, 41222. So here you select 41222. Well, no wonder it didn't work because it was supposed to be selected here. Now it can't be changed from here. It has to be changed from here. I see, that is odd. Incoming, okay, that's not working though. Let's check if that thing is running already. Yeah, it is running. 41222. Yeah, the guide also looks different because this is an older version of Retroshare, which is really stupid. They should update the guides so that they show the proper versions up to date. Wait, even that doesn't show it. Okay. Okay, well that's interesting. Well, I suppose it's working then. This thing says I2P proxies. Okay. Right, so I'm assuming it does work then. This thing just doesn't show it's okay for some reason. But it doesn't show it's okay here either. Incoming service connections. I2P address. And 41222. Right, so I think that should be working. Outgoing 4447. Yes. Yeah, so I think I'm done then. It's just not showing a green button there for some reason. Yeah, that's a really weird thing, this SAM thing. I guess you might be able to use it. It might work. So that's an automatic thing. So that's what the enable I2P in the beginning were at the top, bottom right there was that enable I2P or use I2P option. I did not enable it, but I guess you could look into that, see if that works for you. I don't know about that. I'm just gonna go with the manual option. I don't know why that doesn't show green. Maybe that's just intentional. Whatever, but that does show it's working, so I assume it's working. Okay, and now I'm going to repeat the process for the second virtual machine. So at this point I will cut the video, and everything I have done thus far, I'm going to repeat the process on the second virtual machine. So I'm gonna have this virtual machine. Okay, right, so I decided that I'm gonna record the process anyway, so I'm going to show the full process after all. Oh yeah, they still paused. So I'm going to show the full process. So again, this is a duplicate. I'm duplicating the work. I'm doing all the things again because I'm going to do it for both of the accounts, both of the users, the imaginary users that would be using the I2P. So now I'm not going to be really commentating, I'm just going to be running really quickly through everything. So this is like a fast forwarding version. So now I do want to emphasize the fact that I'm now working on the second user. I'm going to repeat all the steps and the instructions and the processes all the same way. So this part that you do not follow if you're just setting up this for yourself. What? Skip setup. Let's see. Right, so this time I'm just gonna speed through the things. So where am I? Oh yeah, the stupid thing, the stupid speed test. Yeah, in my attempt to speed through things, I end up just missing that. Stupid thing. Anyway, let's go to the Retroshare website just to show the Retroshare I2P. That's I2P D. Where is it now? Why is it difficult? Where is it? Retroshare, a stupid search engine. As good as useless. Right, here it's the first result. Okay, is it working now? What is going on now? Why is this not working? What is wrong with this thing now? Okay, now, excellent. It's working. Tunnel manager, client tunnel, standard. I'm gonna call this Retroshare 1 again. Retroshare 1. Next. Tunnel destination. Wait, what did I do wrong? standard socks for 4A5. Did I mess up the thing? Previous standards. Socks for 4A5. Right. Retroshare 1. Old proxies, no. Port 4447 and IP address is again the same 127.0.0.1. Moving along. Automatically start, finish, save tunnel, then tunnel wizard again, server tunnel. Now it was standard, I think. Yeah, now it was standard. Then retroshare 2, retroshare 2, host port 41222, that was that one. Yes. Automatically start, save tunnel. So now both of them should be starting, that is starting there, and retroshare 1 is starting here. I'm gonna have to go download retroshare itself, retroshare cc. No. Retroshare.cc, I must have misspelled it. Again, I'm gonna go for the app image. Downloads. Execute permission. Launch app image. Hidden node tor/I2P manually configured advanced options. Person B. Computer B. Person B. Person B. Let's just call this person B. I'm gonna select the highest key. It's always the correct thing to do. Then the server address, make sure to copy the entire thing. It's a stupid font. The highlighting is barely visible. It's not the font, it's something else. That one was that the 4.4? That was 4.1.2.2.2, okay. 4.1.2.2.2. Do not enable that. It's weird. At least if you're following my guide, don't enable this. Whatever you do on your own, you do on your own. That's up to you. But don't do this if you're following my guide. Go. Then retroshare starts. Preferences. Network. Remember to enlarge the window. Discovery on, all that stuff is good. That's good. 127.001.4.4.4.7 incoming, and here you wanna select 4.1.2.2.2. And for some reason this doesn't show, it's okay, but I guess that's just the way it's supposed to be. I'm gonna verify I got the whole thing here. SXZ. That's correct. I2P proxy is okay. Excellent. So this should be working then. Right, so now I have set up both of them. So I now have both of the virtual machines set up. They are now both working. So I have the two retroshares running here side by side. I don't think I need this stuff anymore, these website things. So I'm gonna make these full screen, or as full as they get with this parcel view. So now the two computers side by side, person A on the left and person B on the right. So right, so the way you use, okay, so yeah. So now I'm done with all the setup. The setup is complete. So if you only want to set up the retroshare, then the video ends here. I have now set up it twice, as a matter of fact. I did it twice. So both for the person A first and then for the person B as the second one. So right, so if you just want to use Retroshare now, you can go ahead and do that. But I'm gonna also show how the friend codes are shared and all that stuff, and I'm gonna show this working. So, right, so I need a way to copy paste the codes from one of the virtual machines to another. I guess I'm just gonna use good old paste bin, because who cares, why not? Yeah, I'm just gonna go to pastebin.com. Good old paste bin. So I'm gonna exchange the codes. Which way should I do it? I guess it doesn't matter. I'm gonna copy person B's code, whatever, it doesn't matter. So copy Retroshare ID to clipboard. Copied. And now I will paste it in heckin' paste bin. I'm gonna have this expire in, I guess 10 minutes is good enough. And then I'll have it as unlisted. Sure, whatever. It's just a code that will only be used for this video. I will of course delete these virtual machines and all that sort of thing after I'm done, so none of these codes will be usable after this video is done, and by the time you are viewing this video, these accounts will be long since gone. Is that a 0 or an O? Jeez, that's a stupid font. It's a 0. 0 E-S-Z-U. A proper font puts like that sort of a dot in the middle of the 0. That looks pretty good. There's no way to confuse that. What? No way, I just created it. That's no way that's 10 minutes. No way that's 10 minutes. Or did I select something like 10 seconds accidentally? That would be pretty funny. No, that's definitely 10 minutes. What is that about? Well, I guess I'll have to do that again. So, the paste 1 hour unlisted. Create new paste. Okay. So 5S T J Q E N F. Okay, so there's the code. So the way you would do it, you just share the code. So however you choose to transmit the code, that doesn't matter. You can exchange it in person or send it via email like it said there, or anything really. It's up to you to decide how you want to share that. Anyway, that's how that's added. And if everything has been done well and the port configurations and whatever firewall things don't get in the way, then this should work. If the firewall gets in the way, I might need to look into that. So yeah, you should definitely put the firewall rules such that the communication can pass through. You should definitely enable the rules in the firewall. If you have a firewall, that is. No, you don't always even need a firewall really. Well, as long as you have UPnP on your router and your router provides a firewall, that should be like good enough for the firewall on the router should be good enough for many use cases, and UPnP of course passes through the I2P traffic, so everything should work just fine with that if you don't have a firewall enabled. You might not even need a firewall, but I have a firewall enabled. So, oh, and also it is possible to do this at the same time for like both directions, so I'll do that both ways. So why not? I'll go ahead and share the key both ways. That might be good to do just in case actually. Yeah, I recommend doing it both ways, where you share the code, both codes with each other. So CVCJVQDR. So both of you would copy your code and then share the code with each other. Why is this stupid thing lagging? Or not working? Let's see what it is saying. It's still in connect. Let's see if I do them both at the same time. There might be some firewall issue, that's possible. It is possible there's a firewall issue. It is very possible. I might need to temporarily disable the firewall, something like that. Connection in progress. Yeah, well, I mean, it should work. Look at that. It turned into green. It works. So, I don't know if you need to do both of them at the same time like I did them here. But it might be a good idea to do. But I mean, the common wisdom tells me that you should just keep trying to add each other for as long as you don't get added. So if it fails, try again. If it fails, try again, and keep just trying. And you, both of you, just keep trying. Set up some time in the day. Agree some specific clock hour in the day. At this time in the day, at this clock hour, we will both try to connect to each other at the same time. So just agree with your friend like that. That when the clock hits this hour, then we start trying to connect. And then you both start just trying to connect, add each other like that, add each other's codes. And then if it works, then it works. Great. If it doesn't work, recheck your settings. See, go through all the settings that you did everything correctly. Check your firewalls and make sure that all the routers have UPnP and such enabled. And then just recheck your settings again if it doesn't work. And just keep trying. Like, if it doesn't work, then just keep trying. You know, there is also the fact that like the I2P network itself may also be like volatile in the sense that like sometimes like the connections in the I2P network also might like vary. There might be some. Who knows what the I2P network is up to? You know, it depends on random people running their nodes after all. So if there's some random people out there running their nodes doing random stuff, there's a bunch of random stuff going on, so the network can be volatile also. So don't give up right away if you can't add your friend on the first try. Don't give up on the first try. You might need to try a couple times. Anyway, judge people. Where's the option for the? Yeah. Now I can see persons A and person B. Right. So it's working. Network graph. And this network graph is a pretty neat thing. If you have a bunch of friends and the friends have friends and they have friends and lots of friends, you can increase this friendship level. It doesn't go higher than 2 right now for some reason. Anyway, whatever, you just increase this thing and then you can see this big network graph of all the people you are connected to and all the people they are connected to, and like there's this big graph. So like friends of friends of friends of friends and like that sort of thing. Now, I don't know how far you can go. This thing doesn't allow me to go higher than 2 for some reason. So it might be that you cannot go higher than 2. But that might only be because I only have one friend right now installed or added. So that could be because of that, I don't know. So can you go higher? Who knows? But it is just a visualization, it doesn't really matter. The friend-to-friend network does work beyond 2. This is just a network visualization graph. It just draws you this visual. Anyway, I might as well show you how the Retroshare is used now that while I'm at it, because I'm at it already. While I'm at it, I have this installed here, so I might as well show you some stuff. I mean, obviously there's things like mail, so that's pretty cool. So where's the new mail? Where do I create the new mail again? Compose, right? person, no, I'm person B. All people, my contacts, friend nodes, person A. So select friend nodes here, just go through all the settings if you can't find. So person A to, where did I select it again? Right, double click on it. So double click on person A and it has been selected. Subject, yeah, and then hello person A, I am person B, and then what's this? Where do I send it? Is this GUI too small or what? No, it's just, I can't see the send. Send there at the top left, and now I should be receiving it here. So right on, look at this. It has been sent, successfully transmitted through the I2P network, which means that I did everything correctly. You know, the guide isn't that difficult to follow. It might look a bit convoluted if like you're looking at it for the first time. I've done this a couple times, so I'm already somewhat familiar with the setup. I might even be able to do it by heart, maybe, if I remember all the steps. I may be able to do that, who knows. Maybe. Who knows? But anyway, you can still follow the guide. It's not like you have to do it out of memory, just look at the guide. It's there. So, that's good. I'm gonna also compose a message here. Person, again, remember to select friend nodes. Double click on person B. Subject. Yes. Right on. And then I will send. And now I should be receiving it here. There is quite a delay, but there it is. It goes through the I2P network. Excellent. Now that's mail. There's chats. There's whatever people is. There's file sharing. There's the channels. There's forums. There's boards. And like you can have all of these different social media type activities, and you can do all of it in Retroshare. I've made the video, or no, it's not a video. I've made the speech where I talk about replacing social media with Retroshare, and I do stand by that. Like whatever like people do on like social media, you know, you have your forums. You can have all of your friends and the friends of friends, and you can talk with all the people on the forum, and like that's a bunch of people. All you need to do is just convince everyone to use Retroshare. That's all it takes. The software is here. You can have your channels, upload your content, whatever. You can do file sharing. You can. Oh yeah, I should probably show you how the file sharing is configured. I took a look at here, but I don't see the option. Oh yeah, it was this one. Configure shared directories. So this one is a really interesting one. This is the directory. You can go into the path, select computer / home demo. I'll select the public folder, why not? So the public folder that already exists, it's just called public, so I'm gonna select that. Why not? Or, I don't know, that's kind of weird. I should probably create a separate file, so it's not too confusing. My retro sharing, file sharing. Yeah, it's better to create a separate file, so it is not too confusing what is what. And then, now this thing shows you what it reads is what the state is right now. So if you click on it, now it's a directory can be searched anonymously, where previously it said it cannot be. So now it can be. This thing says files can be accessed using anonymous tunnels. And if you click on it, then files cannot be accessed. So what it reads is the current state. So enable all of these. Or I guess I don't want to. The content is not. Yeah. The directory content is visible to friend nodes. See, right? I recommend enabling all of them. I don't see why you wouldn't want to enable these. Yeah, I just recommend enabling all of them. So yeah. You can add new, so you can have different files, different directories, I mean, different directories with different permissions. So that's good. And that's a visible name. My files all friend nodes. You can select visibility. You can have categories: friends, family, coworkers, other contacts, favorites, all friend nodes, all kinds of stuff like this. I'm pretty sure you can create these categories as well. I don't remember how that was done or where you would do that, but it might be possible. Whatever, but still already a bunch of categories as is. Anyway, so apply the thing, and when I go to friends files on the B account and I go here on the first account, my Retroshare files, and I create a file here. Hi. That's a bad file name, but who cares? Hello. I'm just gonna use very generic names. It might take a while for it to update, of course. I'm also gonna go here on the meanwhile, where when that is updating. I'm gonna go also here and I'm gonna select. I could share. Let's see the. I create another new file. Redox. I'll use that. I'll enable all of them. Apply. Autosec. Oh yeah, you can select this one smaller. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So it updates more frequently. You can go ahead and go through these settings and select all the preferences. Of course, I do recommend you always go through all the settings. You know, there's all kinds of things like maximum simultaneous downloads, maximum uploads per friend, 0 means no limit, all kinds of things like that. I recommend going through the settings. Trust friend nodes with banned files. I'm not sure what that is. Let's see. Has they updated? I guess I would need to create something here as well. Right. Now, it does take some time and they need to be like refreshed or something, but I don't think there is any way to manually do that. I guess you just need to wait for it. Let's see. Broadcast. This is interesting. It is quite literally just what it says it is. Broadcast. Let's see how that works. Circles are interesting. That's not getting through. I guess it's not quite. Maybe it doesn't work. Maybe there needs to be some specific group or something. Oh, I guess that doesn't work quite like that after all. Or do I need to be on some chat? Whatever, who cares? I'm not exactly a full expert on Retroshare quite just yet myself. I am still quite new to this. But file sharing does work and I have tested all that stuff. It just takes a while for some stupid reason to update. It doesn't seem to show anything. What a stupid thing. It doesn't update. Should I like re-establish the connections or something? If I just send some mail, should that like refresh the connection if I just send some nonsense? It might be able to view details. Now the network is just really slow. Look at this. It's not going anywhere. I sent the mail and it's not going anywhere. Yeah, that's one of the things with Retroshare. No, that's one of the things with I2P, where the network is just, you know, it can be a bit volatile, you know. It says it's 0. No online friends. Okay, well, This does remind me of one thing though. 127.0.157. No. What was the address again? 5765. What was it again? Retroshare 57567. No. Some number. 5765. I can't remember the number. And this search engine is as good as useless. I have to go look up the address of the thing because I don't remember what the number was again. Such a strange number. Let's see. Where is it? Where is it? Where? There. 7657. Okay. 7657. Right, so now I'm here again. Yeah, so as a reminder of something that I'm gonna want to demonstrate to you. Now, this has to do with I2P. This is not so much about Retroshare, but it is on the topic of Retroshare, so actually no, it does have something to do with Retroshare. So anyway, enough ramblings. The Retroshare tunnel, there's something you can do here. Look at this. Tunnel length options. Now this is an advanced setting. Be very cautious with this one. If you are not confident in what you are doing, then don't touch anything. Leave this be. Don't touch anything. Now I'm going to explain to you what I'm going to explain to you, and you do everything at your own risk. You change any of these settings at your own risk. So whatever happens is your own fault. So if you don't want to touch anything, then don't touch anything. So yeah, I just want to get that out of the way. Yeah, whatever you do here, that's on you. So right. Anyway, so tunnel length. This means how many hops there are. So there are 4 options. 0 hops, 1 hops, 2 hops and 3 hops. They increase the anonymity, and as it describes, 0 means no anonymity, 1 is low anonymity, 2 is medium anonymity, and 3 is high anonymity. What this means is that there is actually a website for this on the I2P website somewhere on the tunnel hop length that explains it pretty well. Let's see if I can find it. Hop and hop tunnel. Right, so this might be it. Yeah, this is a pretty good. You should probably read through this thing before you change anything. But I'm gonna explain to you it myself. Yeah, these are the options. So these are the options explained. So 0 means there's just no anonymity. There is some plausible deniability, but that's not anonymity. 1 means that there's very minor anonymity. 2 means there's more anonymity, and 3 means that there's basically like full anonymity. So this might mean that you're just invisible. Now, so the reason I'm getting to this is that, well, you know, like it says, you know, did it say it here? I don't know if it says it here, but somewhere in this I2P configuration panel it said that it's a trade-off. A trade-off between performance and the anonymity. So the less tunnels, the more performant, the faster the connections and all that stuff. The more tunnels, the slower, but more anonymity. If no nation state or other entity is after you, you'll be fine with 2. 2 is better because like it just increases the file sharing speeds and whatever. Now if you have some agency after you, or just some other entity, like some entity for whatever is after you, and you have some really high security threat model, then like, yeah, you should keep everything maxed out. But I imagine like the generic person doesn't have some agency after them. You'll do fine with like 2 hops. 2 hops is reasonable. 2 hops is just fine. Yeah, it depends on like what the kinds of things, like if you're like doing some like things that might get you in some sort of trouble now, whatever legal trouble, depending on where you are in the world, all kinds of laws and whatever. Yeah, if you break some laws somewhere or whatever, there might be all kinds of things. So yeah, the more kind of a bad thing, like the more someone is after you, the more you increase the security, of course. But like, yeah, you do that stuff on your own. I don't uh, endorse anything in this video. This video is not about any of that stuff. Whatever you do with Retroshare is up to you. So I'm not commenting on any of it in any way. All I'm saying now is that you increase this to the level of threat model that you have, whatever that may be, and for whatever reasons that are not relevant to this video in any other way. So the generic person will do fine with 2 hops. Even 1 hop might be fine if you like doing some like really just like if you have like just good friends that don't do anything weird, and you don't have some people after you, like read to this one, read to this. This explains it. So it depends on who's after you. Who are you hiding from? Why are you using Retroshare? Why do you want anonymity? So 3 hops means that no one is basically going to find you. 2 hops means that there's some chance that someone might find you if they're like some big agency or they just are a very powerful entity or whatever. They might find their way to find you. And 1 is just, yeah, don't use 1 if you have need for anonymity. Low anonymity might as well be very minuscule anonymity. This is pretty bad. Don't use 1 if you have anything even remotely something that you want to hide. 0 just means that there's no anonymity. Like they just see who you are basically. Like there's some plausible deniability, but But the interesting thing about the I2P is that like you can as a website, EAP site host yourself select the tunnels as well, and like you don't have to have anonymity on the I2P. Like I2P can be basically used without the anonymity stuff. So that's interesting. Like you can do that if you want to. Like that's up to the website maintainer. But I'm talking about the technicalities here and like all that stuff. So yeah, you can do all kinds of things with I2P. I2P is really good. It is really good, and also there is this variance. What the variance means is that it will randomly pick one of the options that you choose. So plus 0 to 1. So this means that if you select 0 here and 1 there, then what that means is that it alternates between 0 and 1. If you select this one, it alternates between 0, 1 and 2. And you can't select these when you have 0, but if you select 2, then what this means is that it's plus minus 1. So it alternates between 1, 2 and 3. If you select 1 and do this again, then it's 1, 2, 3. If you do this, then well, I mean, I guess it just operates between the full scale, so it alternates between all of them. So that's interesting. Yeah, you should probably have 2. 2 is a good number. If you are really trying to hide, like if you're hardcore about this, then select 3. If you have just if you just communicate with your friends and you just have some friendly things with your friends, like you can go with 1, I guess. 1 is fine if you like have some innocent, good people that you talk with. Then 1 should be fine. Yeah, sure, I guess so. But it's not gonna be difficult for someone to make an attack against you, some traffic correlation attack, whatever it was called here in the website. So yeah, if you have some people come after you, then yeah, you select this based on your threat model. 2 should be fine. Right. And you could also select something like this that alternates between 1, 2 and 3. I don't really see why you should do that in general. Whatever, 2 is fine. So I'll go ahead and save that. And I'll do the same here as well. 7657. What is this about? Building tunnels. Yeah, that's probably the reason it didn't connect. Look at this, these are green, but this is not green. Which means that I probably set the speeds way too low. There was a way to change that. Configure bandwidth. Oh yeah, this is way too slow. I forgot to change it. But let's set it to 2048. Nice power of 2. And I'll decrease this here as well. Yeah, in my haste I selected them poorly. So well, I guess I could increase it a bit, because why not? If I increase that, well, it's already more than that, but if I need to build the tunnels, I'll do 75%. So anyway, this thing is getting, it's not working well because of the low limitations on the speed, I guess. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Make sure you select the speed things correctly. It's operating alright, but I guess it's just kind of, yeah, like this is barely running. That was way too low of a number. This thing was barely running. I need to increase this so it can ramp up the, I'll increase it like a pretty high number now. I need to ramp up the connections because this is barely running. Yeah, make sure that you set the numbers good. If you have too high of a restriction on the connection bandwidth, if you have too low a number, then it can't really do anything, because like whatever. So yeah, like this thing is seemingly running, but like this green, but yeah, it doesn't, the connection has failed. So the mail has not been received. I did not receive the mail. The mail still hasn't been received. Let's see. There might be a way to fix this situation if I... Oh yeah, I was supposed to also set those numbers smaller. Oh wait, did I do it already? Wait, where am I now? What did I select? Hidden services, Retroshare 2, tunnel length options 2. Okay, so I selected some wrong thing. Save. And I also go here to Retroshare 1. Both of them can be 2. Did I also select the other one here as well? I don't think I did. Tunnel length options. No, quantity length 2. So I select 2 on all of them. Oh, I'm gonna go ahead and restart this thing because it's... Wait, what's going on now? I just set 4,000. I select 45% save changes. This doesn't exist. Let's see. Restart. I'm gonna restart the thing. I'm gonna go ahead and restart the whole thing because how long has this been going? 34 minutes. That's not too long. I've made longer videos in the past. Let's see. And this is a comprehensive guide to the extent that it is. Okay, now it's restarting. So okay, now it has restarted. Then excellent. So now it's gonna start rebuilding the tunnels. I might need to restart the Retroshare as well. So I'm gonna quit out of it. And then I'm gonna go to Hidden Services Manager. Tunnels are not initialized. It's starting up. Oh, and by the way, this number here that says share ratio, it means how much you've contributed. It's kind of like torrenting, where if you torrent and you have the ratio, like if it's above 1, then you've made a positive contribution. This means that you've contributed to the network more than you've used it yourself. So like, okay, now it's running well, excellent. Now I can restart the Retroshare, it should be able to connect. Wait, it's an app image, so it's not there. Let's see, downloads. So yeah, positive contribution. It means that like, if you just have the Retroshare if you just have the I2P running and you don't use it, then it keeps serving the network. And if you have the share ratio thing, setting the thing higher, and like the thing here, if you have the share higher, it contributes more. I think it's that way. Yeah. Was it more? I'm pretty sure it was the higher the number, the more you contribute. Yeah. Right. So I'm gonna have to send the mail again. Friends, 0 friends. What's that about? The tunnels should be working fine. The tunnels are operating. Tunnels are operational. Network is firewalled, but that should not be too much of an issue. Let's actually compose a message. Person B. Sophie, for instance, send some random nonsense. Send is there. I'm gonna send the message. Wait, oh, it did receive it. Or did it? Wait, no, that's something else. Person B. No, it's my own identity. What's that about? I care about my own identity. I don't want to say that now. Let's see. Mail. The GUI is a bit weird. Let's see if I compose a message. Person A. Nonsense. Why do I keep looking there? The send is at the top left. It does not seem to want to connect right now. That is possibly due to the firewall. That might be because of the firewall, because the network is limited by it. So I am not joking when I say that you should do the firewall rules. Excellent, now it found the connection. So yeah, some of these sorts of things, they do depend on the I2P network, where the I2P network, it is pretty volatile. I think I can increase that number, because why not? I'm just doing a demonstration. I'm only sending text messages, so it shouldn't matter really. I'm not sharing some large files, so I'm gonna increase those numbers. So I should pick up more peers and all that stuff. So the messages did go through. So I've now received all of this stuff. Excellent. So, and also you can see here it says now friends are 1 out of 1. So yeah, that depends on the network's volatility, where how good is your connection to the I2P network. You know, the network does what the network does, and if you have poor internet connection, or you have firewalls, and you have a NAT that doesn't let your traffic through and all that stuff, it does severely limit the connectability. So although both of these were running at the same time, the left one and the right one were both running, it still said friends 0 out of 1, because it just didn't find the tunnels. It just couldn't make the tunnels. The tunnels were too hard to create because of the limitations involved with the firewall, because I have the firewall enabled. But as you can see, it does still work with the firewall. So it's kind of like torrenting, where, I mean, it's not the same. This is not torrenting, but it's kind of like torrenting, where in torrenting, if you don't have incoming connection, if you have firewall, or you have the router blocked things, I mean, that is a firewall. If you have a firewall blocking incoming connections, then people cannot connect to you, but you can connect to the people. So the connections go one way. So as long as one of 2 people, so that means like if you and your friend, if one of 2 people has incoming connections allowed, then you can talk to them, and then they can establish connections back at you, because you initiated the conversation, because they have incoming connections allowed. If you don't, you can still send messages to them, because they allow incoming connections. But if you don't, then they cannot initiate conversations with you. If your firewall blocks incoming connections, no one can initiate communications with you. So they cannot reach out to you, but you can reach out to them if they have enabled the incoming connections. So that's why it's important to enable the firewall rules and all that stuff, because then you can actually have the traffic go through. You can actually establish the tunnels and have the connections. So then you don't end up with the scenario where both of these people are online, the person A on the left and the person B on the right. Both of them are online, but still there's 0 out of 1 friends on both of them, because they just can't find the connections, because they cannot establish the tunnels and make sure that all the numbers are high enough that you actually have the bandwidth usable, some usable bandwidth. You should really just set this as high as it goes, where, I mean, not just set it literally as high as it goes. You should set it as high as the network speed you have. Like what is your internet? Well, it says there, like 40 megabits. Well, you can say, I set 5000, that's 40 megabits. So how many megabits do you have? The more megabits you have, you should try to get that the same. That should be about the same, or like a little less. So if you have a 40 megabit connection, this is the number. If you want to double that, then that's 10. Save changes. And now it updates that number there, 80 megabits per second. So you set that the number, the highest number up to however your internet connection is. So whatever your internet connection is, set this so that it correlates here with this thing. This number needs to be the same as your internet speed. So you can run something like the speed test. You know, you can just apply some speed test and test some internet speed test, like just run through some speed test. You know, who cares? Like, I'm not gonna show any specific ones because that's not the point. Just run some speed test, and then the numbers you get, set the numbers here and here, the correct numbers. That's how you should do it. And you should set the share to however much you want to suck out of that. It shouldn't be too high or too low. It should be somewhere in the middle area. So like too highs and too lows are bad. So yeah, that's a bit too high for me right now. So I'm gonna set this back to that. So yeah, if the numbers are too small, then it doesn't really work well. And yeah, there's other settings also here that you can go through. I mean, depending on how comfortable you are with going through these sorts of settings and changing them, there's all kinds of interesting things that you can look at. Well, actually, a lot of these are irrelevant. You shouldn't touch these. Yeah, you shouldn't touch all of these. Yeah, you shouldn't touch these. Where, like, I mean, if you're just using Retroshare, like maybe as an EEP site maintainer or whatever web admin, what are they called? Who knows? Then you might want to touch some of these, but yeah, you don't want to touch these if you're just running an I2P. I mean, if you're just running Retroshare, yeah, that's nonsense, so you don't want to touch those things. But the tunnel length you can adjust. And then let's see. Where's the one there? Retroshare 1. Well, I guess you could touch this one, close tunnel and idle. Disable all of those things. You don't want to close the tunnels, that's a bad idea. So yeah, I got all kinds of idle things. Yeah, you can disable those. Well, they are already disabled by default, so that's good. But if this was enabled, you should disable it. So yeah, don't do idling. Idling is bad. It's just harmful. It just harms the connectivity for no good reason. It doesn't give you any benefit. If you're using the thing. I mean, yeah, whatever. But if you stop using the thing and then it starts idling and then you start using the thing, it needs to ramp up the speed and it has to re-establish all the connections and whatever. I mean, yeah, it works, but like then you can't just send. If you just want to send the one odd email in the Retroshare, then that's a bad idea. Don't do any idling. Disable all idling. Idling is bad. So yeah, let's actually go see if the file sharing has started working. Excellent, it has. Look at this. File sharing has started working. Now I can browse these files that I talked about. These are the files. So download. Is it working? Did it work? Did it download? Download. Right, no it did. So file sharing, that's my file. What is this thing? It's a notification. Where did it download again? That's my file, my sharing. My files, no. Downloads, oh yes, downloads. Where do I open it again? There was some directory somewhere, but I want to see if it's in the GUI. Is it in the GUI? Can I even see it in the GUI? Open file. Open folder, yes, of course. Wait, it's not working. What? But this is also this one. Retroshare. dot retroshare whatever number. Okay, so you probably want to go ahead and go to dot retroshare and this number. Right, so like this is one of those sort of ID things, I guess. You might want to create a symlink and put that in your like home directory, and you just my retro sharing downloads, where this is like file sharing, my sharing, and this is my downloads. So my downloads, this is the download, yes. So yeah, it's now working, excellent. So now that they were able to reestablish the connections, I'm gonna go here and my retroshare things. I'm gonna create new files. New file, the one that's new. This is a text document. Everything works great, right? And then I go here and it should update like once in a minute or so. So I set it. Let's actually see if I can make it even faster. Ignore duplicate files and directories. That's pretty good. Follow symbolic links, yes, of course. Of course, all of these. Yeah, these are pretty good defaults. Maximum simultaneous downloads. You can set that to like however many you wanna have. I guess it doesn't go that high. What's the maximum number? I guess 99 is the maximum number then. Retroshare doesn't allow you to go higher than 99. Safety disk limit. I wonder if that's like the maximum you're allowed to download. Retroshare will suspend all transfer. The disk space goes below this limit. Ah, so like it's the minimum how much space you have left on your hard drive, right? So if you have 100 megabytes left on your hard drive, then it doesn't try to download anything anymore. I probably recommend setting this way higher. You should probably set this like 9. But it doesn't go that high. Well, that's a stupid thing. But yeah, that's like a gigabyte almost. So yeah, that should probably be like 9. You should probably set that to like so. Yeah, max download for end-to-end encryption accepted, enforced. Absolutely. Yeah, that's a good thing to change. You should probably require that. Yeah, that's a good thing to require. You should definitely go through the settings and set them to your preferences. I mean, they are the preferences. Yeah, enforce that. You should definitely use encryption. You should definitely use as much encryption as possible. Yeah, everything that can be encrypted, you should encrypt. There's absolutely no reason not to encrypt anything. You just absolutely encrypt everything. You should absolutely encrypt everything as much as it can be encrypted. Yeah, right, so let's go see if that has updated. It does take a while to update. That is annoying. I wish there was like a way, some button somewhere to click so that it refreshes it. Oh, now it did, automatically. That's nice. Which one is it? Which one is the one I downloaded? I've downloaded both of them. I'll go to downloads, new file. Look at that. Now I can see it downloading. Speed. You can see the speed there. So if it's a small, if it's a larger file, then you can see it like progressing over time as it downloads. These are small text files, so it downloaded pretty quickly. But if it's a really large file, then it takes longer to download. And you can share any files you have on your system, and like that's cool. So no, it doesn't work for some reason. Look at this. I cannot open these. This is probably a bug. Yeah, this is some bug. The Retroshare people should fix this bug. This is a bug. This shouldn't not work. This should work. Anyway, new file. This is a document. Everything works. Yeah. Right. Well, that's that. That's Retroshare and I2P. Highly recommended. Extremely recommended. Like if you want to do like social interaction on the internet, this is the way to go. Yeah, right. So, great. That's Retroshare and I2P. Excellent. Now, go ahead and use it. Convince your friends to use it. Installing I2P might seem a bit scary, and I do acknowledge that, but I can assure you it's worth the effort. You get all the perfect... you get all the anonymity and all the privacy and all the security and everything. Everything works great. Excellent. Excellently. This is like the best thing out there. Like this is like the top of the top, the best of the best. Like this is at the very top. There can't be that many things in this world that are like better for this sort of thing than this is. The combination of Retroshare and I2P. There's not many things that are like better than this. For this is as good as it gets basically. Like, yeah, pretty good. Now I'm not sure if there is something else. Who knows? Maybe there might be. But this is pretty close to perfection. Yeah. It might as well practically be as perfect as it gets. Right. So that's enough of this. That's this video. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Bye.